So what comes to mind thinking about the term justice? Well, I thought up these images related to criminal justice. There is a cruel criminal on the left, and we punish them for disobeying social rules. Like this, we often believe justice means punishing criminals so they dare not commit further crimes. And that's why we made the law system, to defend justice. Fortunately, this worked quite well on national levels, because setting aside the effectiveness of correcting the offenders, after all, it did help punish and put them into quarantine. Now let's take a look at justice at the international level. There have been many problems in the global society so far, and here is one example. Here is the data on how many people were vaccinated during the COVID pandemic due to continents. Obviously, in contrast to the developed countries, citizens of the African countries seldom got vaccinated. Less than 1 in every 10 got a shot. Another example, here is Vladimir Putin. He triggered war in Ukraine, killed thousands of Ukrainians and Russian soldiers, and now he's threatening the whole world with nuclear missiles, causing catastrophic effects. Such injustice certainly cannot be justified, hence should be punished in the same vein as we did at national levels. So to prevent and punish cases like that, an institution has been founded after World War II, the United Nations. At the first glance, it seems that UN can defend all rights and justice worldwide, but as you know, we haven't been able to secure human rights, nor have we stopped the inhuman dictator. The Security Council of the UN well shows a pessimistic reality. The Council cannot make decisions when countries like Russia, China, and the United States cast a veto on an agenda. Thus, it acts no more than a method for superpowers to secure their own supremacy. Hence, I think that justice in the international community, where only the logic of power works, is not guaranteed in current conditions. Therefore, in order to create a truly just world, not a venue for battles between superpowers, a reorganization of the United Nations is needed. I'd like to propose 2 major changes needed for the UN to accomplish its fundamental and initial goals. The first and most urgent is the reorganization of the Security Council. Let's first have a deeper look at the current system. The Security Council consists of 2 groups, the non-permanent group, which are elected for a term of 2 years, and the permanent group, which literally maintains their degree till UN collapses. But what is more dangerous about this party is that they can wield an absolute veto pen. Even if other countries reach an agreement, one member of the Permanent Council can thwart such attempts completely, since only resolutions passed in the Security Council are legally binding to each country. To weaken the mighty power of superpowers, I'd like to propose the following plan, reducing the authority of the veto. Legally binding commissions will no longer be presented by the Security Council. Instead, the whole party of the United Nations will act as a Congress to take a vote on legally binding agendas. The Security Council will only act as a deliberative assembly. Individual rejections are not permitted anymore. Still, the whole Council can cast objections with a majority agreement, sending back the agenda to the Congress. And once sent back, the Congress will now need a higher quorum to approve an agenda and override the veto. But once approved again, no more vetoes can be held. I believe such reorganizations can help humanitarian agendas, which have long been founded by superpowers, be passed. Also, the Congress of the UN and the Council can now check and balance one another out without the concentration of power. Next, the integrity of high-ranking officials of UN is important. John Ash, former chairman of the UN, was offered over $5 billion in bribes, and Eva Kaili recently received bribes from Qatar, albeit from another group. Corruption can lead to politicization of the UN, and that will make UN's goal fade. We must consider corruption seriously. To eradicate corruption, I propose to restrict the right to run for elections to countries that have produced corrupt officials, and to pass a motion of no confidence for those who are suspected of either corruption or making political decisions. This way, countries will verify their candidates with a harsher standard, and the officials themselves will also try harder to remain neutral. Though the proposals I've made today would likely help UN function properly, absolute cooperation from the current permanent members is inevitable. The UN powers must stop strengthening their own vested rights and make bold decisions. Thank you.